Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so very much for joining us. On behalf of our Mayor, Van Johnson, and our City Manager, Jay Melder, we have a special day, a special event here today, and it's almost a twofold event for us. The first half of our event is to cut the ribbon on a new facility. Not only a new facility, though, a new complex here on Savannah's west side. 11 buildings, 20 of our departments with the City of Savannah will be housed right here on this facility. That's 154,000 square feet for usable space for our city. 68,000 square feet of this beautiful administration building. Now, the second half of it is to honor our 63rd mayor of the City of Savannah. So before we get things started, I'd like Reverend Dr. Bobby Jones to come up from Thankful Missionary Baptist Church to say a prayer to start things out.
Let us pray. Father in heaven, again, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the privilege, the opportunity to sit, to stand, just to be in this place. We thank you for the ones who had the thought and dedication of such a place. We thank you for those who supported the idea, for those who are here now. We ask, as people come and go in this building, in and out, let them be reminded of the legacy of Mayor Floyd Adams, Jr. Bless them as they come and go. Bless the employees, a double blessing as they come and go. Bless all who enter. Bless his family, his wife, his son, his children, that the legacy continues. We thank you and we ask you at the same time. In your son, Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Reverend. We have a lot of distinguished guests here and a lot of people to thank for joining us for this event, and we'll start with our Mayor, Van Johnson, here. Also, our at-large Alderwoman Alicia Miller-Blakely with this current council is with us, Alderwoman Bernetta Lanier, Alderman Nick Palumbo, and Alderman Curtis Pertee. Thank you all for joining us today. Also with our new city manager, Jay Melder, is here. He will speak. You will hear from him in a little bit. Assistant City Manager Heath Lloyd is back here. Taffany Young, our Chief Community Services Officer, Chief Operating Officer Brett Bell, Police Roy Miller, Fire Chief Derek Menard, Mayor Otis Johnson joined us. We thank you for having a lot of experts here and current mayors as well. Otis Johnson, Edna Jackson, Eddie Deloge, all joining us for this special event today. Also, aldermen from the past joining us as well. I know Roy Jackson is with us and Brooke Stillwell. Thank you both very much for coming from the 128th administration. A lot of information here. Don't worry, I won't read all of it. Also, Hall, aldermen and alderwomen, thank you very much. Brian Foster and Julian Miller joining us from the previous administration. County commissioners are with us. Bobby Lockett, Milton, and Aaron Whitley. Aaron Whiteley, excuse me. I got it. I checked that off. Judge Tammy Stokes is with us. She was here. She's back. She's joined us over here now. And Representative Derek Mallow is with us as well. If I forgot anyone, I apologize. There's a lot of people in this room. First, before we get started with our speakers, we're going to have our Mayor Van Johnson come up. Members of the family, we thank you all for coming. The Adams family is with us. Kenneth Adams and his wife is with us. And we were going to come up before we really get things started and pull down the sign for this facility. So mayors, come on up. Adams family, whoever would like to come up and help us do that. Now that the cat's out of the bag, welcome to the Floyd Adams Jr. City Services Complex, we can say officially. This was a major project that took quite a long time here with the city, and our capital projects team, Carol Moon is not with us today, but she was the project manager on this, and she undertook quite a job for sure. Water, Sewer, Planning, and Engineering Department oversaw the design of it. The architects of this building, Hussey Gay Bell, and the contractor on the job, TQ Constructors, And a special thanks goes out to Breaker, Julie McLean, and her staff. If you checked out the displays, if you haven't had a chance to check them out before you leave, please do so. They are phenomenal. Lots of old memorabilia and pictures of Floyd Adams Jr. and his family and others. So let's get to the program now. Our speakers, you didn't come here to hear me speak, our 67th mayor of Savannah, Van Johnson.
Thank you all so much. We are so appreciative that you came out on an extraordinary day to pay honor to an extraordinary man. We know that city government runs on a continuum, and so therefore we have so many not only former mayors and former council members, because once you're in, you're just kind of in. But we're so glad that all of them have joined us because we didn't get here by ourselves. So let's give them all a round of applause and thank them. Oftentimes, you just have the opportunity to do one of two things: make history or remember history. And Floyd Adams Jr. made history, and he is history, and history that's so significant to us because we all stand on his shoulders. I am so thrilled today to be here with you for this wonderful opportunity, as we will forever name. And you know, when we have buildings, they last forever. Well beyond the days of us living here, the Mayor Floyd Adams Jr. City Services City Complex. Hundreds of members of Team Savannah now have the newest, most state-of-the-art building in our inventory. And we could not properly recognize this building for Mayor Adams because of our COVID situation. Everyone knows and remembers the day, and I certainly remember it years ago when Mayor Adams made history by becoming Savannah's first African-American mayor. And you need to know that that was 25 years ago this year. And so we saw an opportunity to be able to recognize history for someone that absolutely deserved it. It's always hard being the first. It's always a little easier being the second. A little harder, easier being the third. So it goes on. But Mayor Floyd Adams was a man of the people. He knew everybody, he spoke to everybody, and one day even had the nerve to say, "You could be mayor one day." And I just told him he was crazy, and we just kept on going. But he was someone that loved Savannah, absolutely loved Savannah, and Savannah absolutely loved him. He was absolutely a trailblazer in our community, and someone I was blessed to call a friend and a mentor. And so we are recognizing not only his life and his legacy, but we're also saying that he lived, he loved, and he made a difference in Savannah. And I believe the highest honor that we can give him is to gift this building to his family and to his legacy and to our employees during this very, very special week. To show you how important Mayor Adams is, and it's the strangest thing, but I've learned things don't happen by accident. We were leaving to come over here, and I was at the clerk's office to drop off some paperwork, and I looked in the mayor's mailbox, and I noticed I had something in there, and I did not know what that was. So I was getting ready to fuss because somebody didn't get my mail, so I just reached it and grabbed, and we went into the car. When I got into the car, I looked at it. It was a Christmas card, I guess from Belmont Abbey College, Office of the President. It was addressed to Mr. Floyd Adams Jr. And it's just amazing that, again, even still, and this is a sign to me that we're doing the right thing. So I'm going to present this to you. I didn't open it because it's not addressed to me. But to show you that even at Belmont Abbey College, which I've never heard of before, they know who Mayor Floyd Adams is. So congratulations on behalf of a grateful city. We're so excited for this day and what it means to all of us. And when we walk in here, hopefully little kids will walk in one day and they'll say, who was Mayor Floyd Adams? And they'll be able to see the story. And then you'll be talking about Press Boy Adams. And you'll tell a story. And you'll tell a story about Carl. And you'll tell a story about the legacy of the Adams family. And the best history is still yet to come. God bless you all.
Thank you, Mayor. Our new city manager, Jay Melder, is with us, and he hasn't been here very long, but I like to say he's learning a lot of bits and pieces of history. Not long ago, he was at the Clarence Blue Grant on the west side. We honored him, and then before that, we honored Lieutenant John White on the east side. So little bits and pieces of history, not only of the buildings and the places here in Savannah, but most importantly, the history, the stories of the people that meant so much to the city of Savannah. Our city manager, Jay Melder.
Thank you, Ken. It's good to see everybody today. I'm the only one in the room who had absolutely zero to do with the building of this building, but I have the esteemed honor of being able to recognize a lot of people who did, and I'm tremendously grateful for that opportunity. I want to start with Mayor Johnson and the City Council that's seated today, and thank you for your leadership and for making sure that we got through with this project. I just want to, and I'm in awe of the former city mothers and fathers who are in this room today. It's incredible to be able to come to a community and not only be with a great group of leaders today, but know that there are so many who still serve and prior serve and will serve again, helping the public servants of Savannah move forward in an amazing way. So I want to acknowledge the past mayors and past aldermen and women for being here today and for their service and for making sure that this building came to fruition and that we're able to honor it in the right way today. I want to thank the Adams family. What an incredible legacy that Mayor Adams had on this city. I pass his portrait every day on my way up to the fourth floor, and it's a fantastic reminder of the trails that have been blazed in this city and the immense responsibility we all have who serve in that building to live up to that example and to follow through with the leadership of great men and great women like Mayor Adams. I also want to thank Assistant City Manager Heath Lloyd for his terrific leadership of this project, the entire executive team, all the chiefs, all the directors, all the senior directors, and everybody at Team Savannah, many of whom have a new home today at the Floyd Adams complex. And I want to give you a little bit of numbers and details, because I am the city manager, about what it took to build this building and what went into it and who's here today. This was a $43 million project. It spans 38 acres. It includes 11 buildings and today houses 435 City of Savannah employees. It includes 145 of those employees work right here in this administration building. It's the site of 17 departments, and some of those include capital projects management, so a little meta here that they manage this project, also get to work out of it. Central warehouse, development services, fleet services, greenscapes, organizational performance and accountability, planning and urban design, real estate services, recreation and leisure services, street cleaning, mobility services, various water and sewer departments, because Heath has so many, including conveyance and distribution, planning and engineering, operations, resources, and stormwater. And also, we mentioned that the Municipal Archives has some exhibits here, but they also have a storage facility here as well, which is incredibly important to city operations. I want you to know something else about that $43 million investment that taxpayers of the City of Savannah did for this building. 11.5 million of that, or 29.2%, went to local disadvantaged business enterprises and minority and women-owned business enterprises. And all, that's right, and all of those businesses were local. So that's a tremendous, again, a tremendous legacy for this building and for the naming and the honor of Mayor Floyd Adams. that not only is it going to continue to serve the city of Savannah and its residents and its employees, but it did a part in making sure that there was opportunity and ladders and pathways for our businesses today to be able to participate in the ways that we spend money. So it's just an amazing complex. I'm very happy to be here now, and thank you all for everything you did to make this complex a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager. We do have 3 previous mayors here prior to our Mayor Van Johnson. What we're going to do is we're going to start backwards. We're first going to start with our 66th mayor of Savannah, Eddie DeLoach. And Mr. DeLoach, after you, if you would welcome up our 65th mayor of Savannah, Edna Jackson, and Miss Jackson, if you could please introduce our 64th mayor, Otis Johnson, after that.
Well, 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 well. Isn't it great to be here today? Yes. I want to thank the people that work for the city of Savannah. This is all about the folks that work for the city of Savannah. We recognize the importance of each one of you that are out there working day, and a lot of folks that work at night that most people don't know about, that are getting the job done every day and representing you every day. I made the comment on one of these things, you try to write down something that make it look like you got some sense. So you write it down, and the point is that politicians like us, you see us in the crowd, and we've been there, oh yeah, former. We come and we go. And it changes. There's 4 of us right here that have been a mayor at some point in time. But of those 4 that have been here, there's employees that have been here twice as long as that. And what the citizens of the Savannah recognize is not so much these politicians that come and go, but it's the attitude of the employees that are at the city of Savannah. And the way they take their citizens that they represent and work for, and how they treat them, and how they represent our city. That is what people remember. They don't remember me 10 minutes later, but they remember each of those people that represent this community. And that's the most important thing, from the police all the way down to the sanitation workers, all the way down to anybody that's inside the building, cleaning our offices, that are actually employed as, part-time people. It doesn't matter who they are. It's those people that make the difference in Savannah. It is the feeling of Savannah that people get when they come here, is that feeling from our people that work for us, people that represent us in the hotels, motels, and everything else you can think of. It's the attitude we have. We are in a wonderful place. We are in a wonderful place, and we are one community. And that's what Floyd Adams brought. One community. That's the reason Floyd Adams was elected. It was a big deal, make no bones about it, when he got elected as mayor. They said it wouldn't happen, but it did happen. And you know why? It's because people from all races voted for Floyd Adams, because Floyd Adams represented all of Savannah. And I feel like we do the same thing up here. All of us, that's what our job is to bring our community together and to represent our community and be thankful of where we are and recognize the important things of our community and what they do to make our citizens better. We've got our faults. I can write a book on them. My wife can write one for you on me too. But in reality, there's good in everyone that walks these streets, and we need to recognize that as we go forward. But we're here today to recognize a wonderful man. I knew Floyd. I was a county commissioner whenever Floyd was as a mayor, and there was great opportunity to interact with him. What a lot of people don't know is Floyd Adams was a tenacious person when it came to SPLOST money. He would hold out, fight, argue, anything you could think of to get the money he wanted for the city of Savannah. I was a commissioner in the westside. I wasn't so happy about it. Well, every dime he got, I lost. So I was working the other handle, but he did do a wonderful job representing you in the city of Savannah and bringing those things that we need to do as a community. There's a lot of things we need to do more of, but in reality, our community is so much better off for the SPLOST programs that were put here and the way the people of the government, of the people that you elected, spent their money and spent it wisely. I wanted to recognize a few people on that. I wanted to recognize Rob Hernandez, Pat Monahan, Michael Brown, and okay, even Heath Lloyd. Those folks, they've shepherded this thing through. Rob Hernandez wanted this thing to happen. That's why it happened. Our council, we voted unanimously. You write that down. You don't hear that very often. You know the power of 5, don't we, Van? We know the power of 5, but it's so wonderful when we all vote together and realize the importance that we're bringing to our community, not so much to ourselves, but to our community, and we appreciate those things we bring to our community. But I want to thank all of those leaders that did a great job, and all the people that worked there. As far as Floyd was concerned, you recognize him as the first African American. I recognize him as somebody that first African American a lot of white folks voted for. It was big, and it's changed our trajectory as a community. We are no longer white and black. You can use that to run in politics, but in reality, the fact of it is we are one community, and we depend on each other, and we don't get anywhere. Thank you. Floyd brought that out. Floyd brought that out in everybody he interacted with, because nobody, you couldn't help but like Floyd. He was always there, and through when he represented on the council and when he was a mayor, he was always looking for a compromise with somebody to make it better for everybody. And that's what Floyd did. You might not know this. I didn't know this. One of his first acts was a Human Relations Committee. All of us know what that is. What it was, hey, I want all y'all to recognize there's two classes here, two communities here, black and white. Let's get together and figure out what we're doing so that everybody has an opportunity. First act he did was that. Was an important act. I bet you didn't know he appointed himself to the Savannah Art Commission. Think about Floyd and Art Commission. I didn't think about Floyd and Art Commission, nor would I think about me being on the Art Commission. But in reality, he did. But the reason he did that, he wanted to make sure everybody had an opportunity to be dealing with the arts on that commission. He was I did tell you about the advocate on the SPLOST. My biggest thing that Floyd did, and the thing I go back to whenever I was in office, was Collar Brownsville. Yeah. He changed so many lives at Collar Brownsville. That is what he should be known for. He changed an entire community, and it's an example we can use all over Savannah as Van and the rest of the guys on the council get ready to embark on developing our community and affordable housing. This is an example we can use going forward to make our community a better place. He did that when it was not cool. He did that because he knew it was the right thing to do, and he changed people's lives. So that's why we're here today, honoring Floyd Adams. So he represented it for 20 years. He was on the council and mayor. I want to thank him. I want to thank the family that's here, whoever it is, and tell you that he was a great man, a wonderful man, a good businessman who brought his paper through good times and bad. But he was there, and he represented Savannah in its fullest sense a united community. And thank you for the opportunity to speak for Floyd Adams.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Now, Eddie, you were supposed to bring me up. When we follow the rules. It's such a pleasure to be here today. There are so many things. Okay, thank you. There are so many things that I can say about Floyd Adams. I would not be where I am today in politics had it not been for Floyd Adams. When he decided to run for mayor, he called me and said, "And I want you to run for alderman at large." I said, "All I like to do is work to get other people elected. So you forget somebody. We have to get you elected." It was more important that we get him elected. He said, "No, you have to run." Seemed like I was losing the battle, and I did run. But I kept working for Floyd Adams to get him elected to become the first African-American mayor in the city of Savannah, the oldest city in Georgia. And it didn't bother me that I lost my election because it was important that we had made history by getting Floyd in. It is not about self, I've always said that. It is about working together. And Floyd was one of the people that always wanted to work together. I'll never forget what happened in West Savannah on Baker Street. When we had to come back, I wasn't even on council, but he saw a need of what needed to be done because of the flooding that was in the area, and the city had to come with FEMA and buy up all the properties and the houses and what have you, because people could not live under conditions that they were living under. That was Floyd Adams. Well, the next time around, Floyd came back again and said, "Edna, you need to run this time." I said, "Floyd, no, I don't. Let me help you get elected again and help get some other people elected." Well, I lost that battle too. And I did get elected because Floyd wanted to have people on his team that worked together for the good of the all of the residents. You know, Floyd was known as, I was talking to Mayor Otis Johnson, and I hope you will forgive me for saying this, but we used to call him the teddy bear because everybody wanted to hug Floyd, and he hugged everybody. He was the kind of person that was always open, but you didn't cross him. It was Floyd that caused affordable housing, as Eddie has talked, Mayor DeLoach has talked about today. And when you look at what happened in Brownville, when you look at the development that is over in West Savannah, when we bought up the area over there, when you look at what has happened over on the east side of Savannah, it is because he had the vision to start it over in Brownsville. He was a quiet, unassuming kind of person whenever he wanted to be. But he was such a family man. Wherever you saw him, you saw Deborah, you saw the children, you saw everyone gathering around him. Floyd made it possible for me to be involved on the state and the national levels. He was not selfish. He pushed us alone because he knew he and I gotta give credit, Gwen Goodman. And that is what happened. It was always a team. I'm not going to tell you that we didn't disagree sometime, but we were never disagreeable. Floyd kept it that way. We kept the city's business first at hand. Floyd was that leader. I learned so much from him as a leader because it was all about people working together as a team. This building represents him. When you have all of these departments in this building, I commend the former council for seeing a vision to put this right here in this community. I commend this council for naming this building the Floyd Adams Building. The one thing the one thing that I have paid attention to, and people don't know transitions, but when I lost the Eddie, we transitioned by him coming in the office and we talked about things. And that is what politics is all about. I don't know about the name politician, Eddie. We are public officials. Public officials. Okay, that's right. All right. So I say to you today, let's cherish what we have here. To the members that have been working for the city, it is about you. You make everybody look good, as Eddie has said, and I'm not going to repeat what he said because y'all want to see the building. But I can tell you that Floyd Adams' name is still recognized nationally, still through GMA, through other places. Floyd Adams Jr. I salute you to a salute to the family, because had there not been a Floyd, we do not know where we would be today. Congratulations. Congratulations to the staff, all of the people that built this building. It is something to behold. But in Savannah, we do it the right way, particularly when you keep your team together. Thank you. My mentor, my mayor, Otis and I have been friends for so long, y'all. But he carried on the legacy as we continued through the years. So let me introduce Mayor Otis Johnson. As you can see, when have y'all seen in any situation where people get along like we get along? Am I right, Eddie? As mayor, former mayors of the city. We are bigger than ourselves. We are as big as you and I. Mayor Johnson.
Thank you. I'm glad the previous speakers gave me license, because I'm not bound by any 3 minutes, because they didn't have 3 minutes. So I'm going to be just as short as I can be, but I want to make a point. I want to start in 1983 and give you a little history. That's part of my role in this community, is to provide this community history. In 1983, there was a city election. Floyd Adams ran for the 1st district. Robbie Robinson ran for the 5th district, and I ran for the 2nd district. Floyd had competition that led to a runoff, I believe. Robert was running in a new district that was the result of the redistricting done by the Voting Rights Act. He had a runoff, and I won my race just straight out. The only person left now in that John Resakas administration, did he leave? Brooks still, yeah, Brooks. I don't want you to leave, Brooks, I'm gonna talk about you. Brooks Stillwell, and I am the only remaining alderman from that Resakas administration. Say that again? I can't hear you. Oh, no, but he wasn't in that one. He didn't get elected in 83. Huh? All right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Let's cut to the chase. I'm talking about the 83 election. Definitely, and I'm going to say it because it is factual, Mr. Adams defeated Mr. Jackson in that election. That's history. I mean, it may not always be nice and polite in the circumstances, but it's history. And you can't undo it because history has good parts and bad parts. We were reelected in 1986. In 1988, I left to go to the Youth Futures Authority. In 1989, 1 year later, Robert was assassinated by a mail bomb that was mailed to his office on Abercorn Street, and Floyd remained on the council for the next 20 years. That's factual. We all know that in 1996, he became the 63rd mayor of the city of Savannah and served 2 terms. He probably would have been reelected, but we have term limits. And so that's why all of us are rotating around. So that's a little history that I would assume that most of the people in this room don't know. But we need to know that Floyd was on a journey in public service that started in 1983 and ended in December of 2003. That's a long time to give public service to our community. And Adams family, this is part of your legacy, because we are so familiar with each other. I call him Floyd. Everybody should give him his honor. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Floyd Adams, was on this journey. And fortunately, I was able to replace him in 2004 to keep that legacy going. Now, it is important for us to look at this building and to know how important what the city has done, because millions and tens of millions of dollars over the years have been given out to rental space. And you, as citizens of this community, owned none of it, reaped no benefits from it except a place for staff to occupy. Now, your tax money, along with money that tourists bring in here through SPLOS, has created this complex. And it is right to name it the Floyd Adams Jr. City Service Center. One final thing. We have a garage named after Robbie Robinson. Remember that. It is right across the street from the county courthouse. We must lift up our people who serve us well, and we must do things so that the next generation can ask the question, who was Floyd Adams Jr.? And we've got a place that can answer in no equivocal way. This is the Floyd Adams Community Service Center. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayors. We appreciate all of you coming to enjoy this special day with us today. The Adams family, well represented. Public service continues in the Adams family with Kenneth Adams, County Commissioner. I know his wife, Deborah Adams, is with us. If you two could come up and each say a few words and maybe introduce the rest of the family that has joined us for this event.
I'm all tangled now. If I could help someone as I pass along, then my living is not in vain. He couldn't sing it, but those words held truth to him. He loved everyone in Savannah. He never met a stranger. He met people where they were. Even though he may have had on a shirt and tie, he would take that tie off and he would roll up those sleeves. It did not matter to him. But I want to thank everyone for what they've said. I want to thank the city of Savannah, Mayor Van Johnson, Mayor Edna Jackson, Mayor Otis Johnson, Mayor Eddie DeLoach. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for this building. Thank the city employees. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I thank you. Words just cannot express my sincere gratitude for what the city of Savannah has done. I know he loved the city. I know he loved this city. So, and I thank you, we love you, and we're here for you.
She got me started. I just want to say thank you to everybody, all the city staff, Mayor Johnson, Mayor Jackson, Mayor Johnson, Mayor DeLoach. I just want to thank all the family and friends and colleagues that came out. And if you're a member of our family, please stand.
And if you're standing, wave your hand.
I came here prepared to say a whole lot, but she got me started. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet and say thank you, thank you, thank you. And welcome to the Floyd Adams Jr. City Services Complex. And like I say, I'm a loss for words when it comes to my day. Y'all call him Floyd, but I call him Daddy. And that was one of my best friends. And today's very special because we're also celebrating my sister's birthday. I said I wasn't going to do this, but thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Happy birthday. I hear Mayor DeLoach is great at singing happy birthday, so you can get with him after the program today. Before we cut the ribbon, if I could please have our Reverend come up one more time to say a closing prayer for this facility.
With the pandemic kind of keeping us separated so much this past year and a half or so, I love going back to the first benediction ever given in the Bible. It's a short and simple one. It says, "May the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another till we meet again. Amen."
All right, thank you all. A reminder, there are hors d'oeuvres going around. Please do stay and enjoy. There are plenty. Our servers will be out here in just a moment after we do cut the ribbon. So at this point, if we could call up our former mayors and if we could call up the Adams family, we have a small pair of scissors here, and we will cut the ribbon on the Floyd Adams Jr. City Services Center. Thank you all for coming. All right? I've been asked to ask if any elected officials would come up and join us all. If we can get y'all up here, come on up. We can't move that.
Get over here on this side of you. We're gonna bounce this.
We can move some of these. Come on around. Come on around. I want to make sure that Alderman Dana Braun was also recognized. I believe he came up late.
I gotta get it.
Grab this before you guys take off, man. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Thank you for coming.
Oh, no problem. It just reminded me how long I've been around here, seeing all of them. Man, it's been a long time, man.
Hey, they'll be together again. Once we have the ribbon cutting for the arena, we're gonna set the
That's right, yeah.